So it's been a while, to say the very least. It's been about 5 years since I've worked in a W-2 setting for a traditional employer. And tonight is my first night on the job at an Amazon warehouse as a delivery station team member. I start at 11:30 p.m. and I check out at 3:30 a.m. That's right, I'm on the night shift. I'm pretty optimistic about this gig. I'm at least excited to switch it up, work in a team environment, because for the past 5 years, I've been running my own business, doing a lot of gigs, advertising, and while I do love that and I plan on continuing to do so, I have dearly missed the team atmosphere. So there was a lot of mixed reactions when I first let you guys know that I was applying to an Amazon warehouse job. And one of the funniest comments that I saw was from John G. Cruz. He's a subscriber on the channel. And he says, next video, why I left Amazon job after 1 week. Now this one particularly hits hard because an article recently came out about Amazon warehouses and how they have a turnover rate of 150% every single year. That means a lot of new people come in and those same people leave within a year. So the speculation is that Amazon's having a hard time filling their warehouses with people, and that might be why they're trying so hard to make these new robots. I think the latest ones were Bert and Ernie, who are going to be doing the jobs that Amazon warehouse workers potentially were doing in the past. Now, in spite of these ridiculously high turnover rates, I'm still really excited about this new job and I can't wait to start tonight. So I'm gonna let you guys know exactly how this goes. I have the other videos about the application process, about the pre-hire stuff. There was a couple other things that came out. I did have to do some online training before my first day. Now it really only took like an hour or so and it's really basic stuff. Now a lot of you guys are probably wondering what exactly it looks like on the very first day that you show up to work at an Amazon warehouse. Are there robots buzzing around? Do you have a drill sergeant just yelling, down the back of your neck to make sure that you're on time with organizing packages, with getting things sorted and ready for those delivery drivers? Let's take a look at all of that and what exactly this first day process is going to look like for me. So I finished up my first shift at 3:30 a.m. last night, and I want to give you guys a recap of everything that went down during the shift because it was not quite what I expected going in. Now, when we got there, we all met up in the break room. There was about 16 new hires getting trained, and from there we talked for about 20 minutes, just the real basic stuff about company culture, how to use the Amazon A to Z app to pick up shifts, to punch in, whatnot, and then we were given a couple perks, like a coupon code for $110 to go to Zappos.com, get some work shoes, because you do not want to hurt your feet. And we were going to be moving a lot of heavy stuff, which I soon found out about firsthand. This was a training day, but we were matched up to shadow people that were actually working in the warehouse that day, basically doing all of the moving and scanning for them. So let's get into that, what exactly that entailed. When I see videos of Amazon warehouses, there's a lot of glorification of how everything is being automated with these little Roombas zooming around and moving all of the big pieces. And those videos must have been at a different facility because mine was not automated. We were doing the heavy lifting. We were moving tables in packages, couches, TVs, stuff as big as refrigerators were getting moved, placed on dollies, taken off the inbound trucks, and organized for the outbound trucks so that these items could be delivered to Amazon customers the next day. And this is certainly not easy work. Most of us new hires were sweating. People that had been working there for some time were sweating. It is a workout. You're going to burn some calories. I will say that it is a positive work culture. The managers are very friendly. They're positive. They talk about promotions, how they've worked there for a few years and been promoted up the ladder, how Amazon is more than willing to do all of that stuff. And they provide snacks, waters for you during break time. But while you are working, you are expected to work hard. And I get the feeling that the longer I am in this, the more I'm going to understand the metrics behind that. So far, what I know are the basic metrics about showing up on time. If you are more than 5 minutes late, similar to when you're driving with Amazon Flex, you are marked late for that shift. With Amazon Flex, it's canceled. While you're in a warehouse, it is not canceled if you're late, but it does count against you. And if you get too many of these in 1 month, you will be terminated. Also, if you cancel a shift, within 24 hours of the start time. That is a big no-no, and it's going to be minus quite a few points. Once again, every month these reset, but if you do this too many times in 1 month, you will lose your position. So I am currently working the night shift. That's between 11:30 p.m. and 3:30 a.m. And one of the things I noticed that came up during the training is one of the biggest questions was switching shifts, if they could be switched to a different timing, to different warehouses. Essentially, because we signed up for this role, we are in that position for 30 to 90 days, and then potentially we can be switched if there's another warehouse with openings, and the warehouse that we are currently at has a little give and is able to lose us as a member of that warehouse. So there's potential flexibility there. I cannot see myself continuing to work the night shift probably too much longer than that. I will say I am very glad that it is part-time, because 3.5 hours of this moving had me pretty exhausted. I don't know if I could do a full shift of this 4 or 5 days a week. I have a lot of respect for people that do, but in this position with moving very heavy items for that extended period of time, it would definitely wear you down over a few weeks and a few months. And that's where the questions about turnover come up. There have been a lot of articles lately talking about 150% turnover in Amazon warehouses. It's a massive number. So what is happening here? Is it really a bad place to work, or is this kind of expected for this line of work? In my opinion, I think it's expected. Whenever you get a job where you can get hired on pretty much automatically, there's not a whole lot of cost, to you for your time up front to getting involved. Those positions seem to have higher turnover, and Amazon is doing what they can to keep us. They have some interesting techniques. We had a cool raffle during the break. For the first 4 nights that we work, there's a raffle where they're giving away Echoes and they give away a TV. I think that they're doing this to retain workers. They definitely have some data on how fast they lose workers and how many workers they lose in the first week. And it's likely that they know if they can keep you on board for a week, you're more likely to stay for a longer period of time. So they are definitely trying to incentivize with these raffles. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool. And once again, the culture was positive. People are nice, and there are promotions available. So I do definitely think if you're willing to put in the hard work, this is a good place to be. And it's easy to get hired on quickly. As I mentioned in my past video, it is a pretty simple process. The only thing that really takes a little bit of time is going through all the videos for the training. One thing I will say is you definitely have to get through these videos, but if you miss something, it's not going to hurt you the first day. At my warehouse, people were very willing and open to answer your questions if you had trouble punching in, punching out, or any other questions. There was no blame for not knowing this coming in on the first day. So if you're watching these videos and you tune out, do not worry too much. You're going to be just fine on that first day of your training. So let's also talk a little bit about the pay. I'm making $15.50 per hour. There was no sign-on bonus in my region. There is in busier areas. They pay up to $1,000 to hire people in the busiest warehouses. Mine did not have that. It seems like there's actually just a lot of people wanting these jobs, and for that reason, they didn't pay me anything extra just to get started. $15.50 is also kind of on the lower end of what you make working in an Amazon warehouse. Some of these other warehouses in bigger cities are up, towards that $20, maybe even a little bit more than $20 range. My biggest concern for my cost benefit analysis of this position would be the commute to work. So the warehouse for me is about 25 miles from the apartment that I'm staying at. And for just a 3.5 hour shift, that commute time, the gas, the wear and tear on my car is definitely going to add up. So it's something to consider. How far are you away from the warehouse that you're applying to? What type of car do you drive? What's the gas mileage? Can you switch to a new warehouse? And can you take longer shifts so that you're kind of minimizing that impact of your car? And can you handle these longer shifts? I don't know. It'd be interesting to try and do like a full 8-hour shift in an Amazon warehouse where you're actually doing this heavy moving, because it is definitely it's definitely not easy work. And the last thing that I'll get into is kind of just the overall vibe of working with a team. I will say that I enjoyed this coming from the gig economy, coming from being more entrepreneurial, which oftentimes means you're kind of isolated. You're working by yourself. I have missed working with a team, and people are, generally pretty positive given the circumstances. The fact that it's a lot of, manual labor. People are upbeat about it. They're friendly. There's chatter. People are willing to help each other out just about any time you need something. There was never a time when someone asked for help and someone else denied it that I saw, at least just in this first day of training. And I thought this was really nice. So why don't you guys let me know what you think down below. If you have any questions or comments about my first day, how long do you think I'm going to last in this job? And what would you like to see me do as far as other videos and content related to working in an Amazon warehouse? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for future updates.